how the U.S. can work more cooperatively with other nations around the world? And is it reasonable that U.S. leaders will choose such a path?
Well, the U.S. should chill a little bit. Basically, the U.S. Leaders, I don't know about the public, but the politicians, the strategists, started to get very, very worried by China's success. This is the main issue. For a long time, the United States more or less wanted China to make economic progress, but the idea was under the U.S. Guidance, under the U.S. Umbrella, because the U.S. Official policy for foreign policy and military policy is that the U.S. should be the dominant power. And then China achieved tremendous economic, but not only economic, also technological progress, especially after 1980. And by the 2010s, the mood in the United States started to change. And I remember reading an article in 2015 by a former colleague of mine when I was on the faculty at Harvard. And the article said, China's rise is no longer in America's interest. I'm paraphrasing it a little bit. But I said, whoa, it's pretty obnoxious. For a U.S. strategist to say it's no longer good if China continues to achieve progress. That was essentially what the article was saying. I believe firmly one part of the world should not hinder the progress of another part of the world, and that idea that someone else's progress is your disadvantage, that zero-sum thinking, which is kind of how military strategists or international relations strategists think. It's not the way I think, and it's not the way we should think, in my view. We should think that what we're looking for is a world in which well-being is shared. So this is really the genesis of the current crisis, in my view, is a kind of anxiety attack that hit the U.S. elites in the 2010s. Of course, it's been turned into a whole narrative. China's out to undermine the world system and so forth. I don't believe that. I don't see any evidence for it. It doesn't comport with my personal knowledge and experience in China, which also goes back 41 years. So this is really why your bridge is so important. There is much too little bridging, too much fear, too much talking past each other, too little dialogue, and we need to get onto a different approach.